It's time for another fun-filled episode of Slang Diary. Are you ready to dive in? Full of beans. Does it mean being exhausted, or being lively and energetic? Being lively and energetic. So if you see someone who's really energetic, you might say, "You're full of beans today." Hacked off. Does it mean to be annoyed, or to be surprised? To be annoyed. So if you're really irritated by something, you might say, "I'm really hacked off." In the buff. Does it mean being in great shape, or being nude? Being nude. So if someone is not wearing any clothes, you could say, "He's in the buff." Keep your hair on. Does it mean to remain calm, or to be careful? To remain calm. So if someone is getting overly excited or anxious, you might say, "Keep your hair on." Cold fish. Does it mean an unemotional person, or a chilled seafood dish? An unemotional person. So if you're describing someone who doesn't express their feelings much, you might say, "He's a bit of a cold fish." Easy street. Does it mean a comfortable lifestyle, or a simple task? A comfortable lifestyle. So if you're talking about living a life free from financial worries, you might say, "He's living on easy street." Elbow grease. Does it mean working hard, or a type of lubricant? Working hard. So if a task requires a lot of effort, you could say, "This is going to take some elbow grease." Epic fail. Does it mean a great success, or a terrible failure? A terrible failure. So if something went disastrously wrong, you might say, "That was an epic fail." I feel you. Does this mean understanding emotions, or physically touching someone? Understanding someone's emotions. So if you relate to what someone else is going through, you might say, "I feel you." Same here. Does this mean having same opinion, or being in the exact location? Having same opinion. So if you agree with what someone else just said, you can say, "Same here." I get it. Does this mean I understand, or I obtain it? I understand. So if you understand what someone is explaining, you could say, "I get it." My bad. Does this mean admitting my mistake, or referring to something that belongs to you? Admitting my mistake. So if you've made an error and want to take responsibility for it, you might say, "My bad." Quid. Does this mean £1 note, or a £5 note? £1 note. So if you're talking about British currency, you might say, "That'll cost you 20 quid." Fiver. Does this mean a £5 note, or a £10 note? A £5 note. So if you need to give someone £5, you might say, "Here's a fiver for you." Tenner. Does this mean a £10 note, or a £100 note? A £10 note. So if something costs £10, you might say, "That'll be a tenner, please." Grand. Does this mean £1,000, or £100? £1,000. So if you're talking about a large amount of money, you might say, "That car cost me £1,000. Bummer. Does this mean a disappointing situation, or a loud noise? A disappointing situation. So if something didn't go as planned, you might say, "That's a bummer." Shady. Does this mean suspicious or dishonest, or a place with a lot of shadows? Suspicious or dishonest. So if you don't trust someone's actions or intentions, you could say, "That's a bit shady." Beat. Does this mean exhausted, or a musical rhythm? Exhausted. So if you're very tired, you might say, "I'm totally beat." Epic. Does this mean something extremely impressive or remarkable, or a long book? Something extremely impressive or remarkable. So if something is exceptionally good or impressive, you might say, "That's epic." How did you do this round? Don't forget to share your score in the comments.